today's video, we're talking about something simple. We're talking about your external environment and how that could be impacting your manifestations. So, just to keep it short and simple, your home might be the reason that you feel stuck. And so, when I say your home, I mean like not only your four walls and your entire house, your entire property, but if you're sharing the home with other people and your space is your space only, we're talking about that room that you stay in the most, okay? So you can't control other people's rooms. You can't control other people's kitchens if it's not your home, but you can control your space and where you interact and where you move on a daily basis. Now, these places where you're like working, where you're sleeping, where you're eating, where you're thinking, where you're planning, these are all spaces that need some love and some intention and maybe some attention. Like if some of you guys are a little bit like cluttered and a little chaotic or disorganized, maybe there's a mess daily. Those are the things that I'm talking about that are blocking your success. Because, like, okay, let's just say, for instance, if you're working from home, how do you expect your workflow is going to be? How do you expect your productivity or your motivation is going to be working from home if you're, let's just start with your room. If your room that you're working in, your home, is a mess, okay, like what if you're in these four walls? You have to be on a Zoom call, you need to do any kind of work on the computer, whatever it is from home, and you're just constantly looking at dirty clothes, right? Unwashed clothes, dirty cups, open cups, empty cups, various cups, maybe drawers that are open. And because I'm looking at some of my drawers that are open, and that's not what I'm talking about. They can, you can leave a mess every now and then, but if this is how it is daily, and you like never clean up and you never see your home or your space clean and organized and decluttered, that's the energy I'm talking about. Those energies that just kind of stay stagnant, that are dirty, that stick around, that never get cleaned up in your space externally, those are manifestations of how you are treating your internal thoughts, your internal emotions, your internal motivations and judgments. You are leaving a lot of things unattended. And so that's where stress starts to arise. If your home has things like clutter, has chaos, has unfinished work, like even paint that's like not all the way painted yet, little things like, let's just say one of your knobs came off in the cabinet or your little drawers or dressers and you haven't put it back on, you haven't repaired it. Those little things, even though you're not paying attention to them every day, they are adding up around you in your external environment. And the more stuff that's undone, the more it starts to pile up. And this is just layers and layers of energy that's been hidden and tucked away, right? Because you want to forget about it. But no, make a day, any day that you have free, or even a few hours that you have free, and just dedicate that time to just cleaning these spaces. First out, start on the exterior, what you see, what your eyes are exposed to, and slowly work in little corners like the drawers in your bathroom, under the sink, your cabinets that have all of these like self care products. You need to organize it all because that stuff is causing you chaos in your day to day life. Every single second, moment, or minute that you spend looking for something is causing you stress. And the 20 minutes, 1 hour goes by, you can't find that thing. You've gone and you've taken your nervous system on a 1 hour roller coaster of stress. So, this is what I'm talking about. The less stress around you in your external environment, the less unfinished stuff that's hidden and tucked away, like the secrets, right? My junk drawer. That's my secret drawer. I have all these weird, not weird things, just like things I don't want people to see, junk. When I organize that thing, which I do every like month or so, because it has to, you have to do this. Maybe not every day, these drawers have to be clean and organized, but once it's getting really cluttered and dirty, you need to go in there and clean it back up. This could be like once a month, this could be once a week, this could be every 6 months, every year. You clean out the garage. It is just going to make you feel better. But the more often that it goes clean and organized, like when you actually have like little storage spots for the small things, the more that that is just contained and known where it is all the time, it has its own home, its own space. that is when your life just gets easier. And you don't realize that these small things are going to cause so much good manifestations in your life. Just watch. And you come back and you just tell me like, "Hey, it worked. Hey, this happened the very next day after I cleaned my room, after I organized my shoes, after I threw out old clothes." You feel better, your mind feels better, so you can work and move better, right? So, like, that is what we're talking about. Now that you've cleared the clutter in your mind, because first we're working internal, first we're working with the inside of our brain, the inside of our heart. And once we kind of have that all squared up, we have it under control for the most part. We have skills, we know how to adapt, we have these little mechanisms that help us get through things. Once you build all that, then you can work on the outside. But the outside being clean, organized, the best, it's not going to help you if you're not also working on your insides, if you're still treating people wrong, if you're leaving a mess at other people's homes, if you're just dropping your junk off. Like I have some family members that when you get them a gift, they don't even take the gift home. Like they'll open it and they'll leave it there, and you can even tell them, "Hey, you left your gift. That's all right." And then they just leave. Like I do have people like that in my family. And that is just like disrespectful. And that is energy that just is going to come back to you that you're doing to yourself. Because when you just leave your junk, your trash, the things that you don't want in this moment, like at your mom's house or like or at other people's homes, and you just say, whatever, you just forget about it. That is what you're doing to yourself. Like that means that that's how you treat yourself. Like you just push things to the side. You say, whatever, I don't care. I'm paying attention to that right now. I'm not working on that right now. I don't need to lift my finger to clear things up for you right now, to make things easier. Like that kind of selfish mentality is not going to bring you blessings. I don't care if the bottom of your shoes is lickable. It's unacceptable behavior because although, you want to match your internal with your external, there are still some people out there that are like so organized, so clean, so just like but it's too much. It's out of balance because then they treat other people like they're trash and I'm up here. So that's an imbalanced behavior. We're talking about being balanced all the time, internal, external, all the time. I treat others the way I want to treat myself, right? But without all the strings attached because I live my life in the moment. I'm not thinking about what you're going to do for me in the future or what you did to me in the past. We're seeing where we're at right now because that is the present moment and that is how you should live your life. It is the least heavy to live by. If you live by things that people have done to you in the past, if you move and you act the way you do because things have happened to you and oh well you're bitter about it, just don't carry those things with you because they're heavy and they create blockages and they create energies that other people don't want to be around. So that's what I always say. If people don't want to be around you, like ask yourself why. So most people are trying to upgrade their life while living in an environment that keeps them in a survival mode. So this is also like keeping stuff in your kitchen prepped, right? So like a lot of that, and that could be like more advanced in the future. When you wash your vegetables as soon as you get them, that is great because then you don't have to wash it when you cook. But if you're not consistent, especially like in the kitchen, and you wash your vegetables and then they get bad, they go bad faster because you're doing that and then you're not using the vegetables because you don't have a meal plan, because you don't know what you're going to make, because you just bought groceries without having a plan and now you're throwing away food and throwing away money. Like we need to get to a point where we are just like not perfect, but we're not throwing away energy, we're not throwing away money, and we're not being mindless about what we're doing and what we're grabbing and what we're paying for with our hard work. So these are things that I'm not even there yet. The meal plans, I have a few plans when I go to the grocery store, and I've learned to only buy those things, with a few snacks and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, just make your space work for you. Whatever works best for you. It's all about how you move, your flexibility, your needs, and functionality. Because here's a secret that most people don't know that I didn't put in the title, but functionality in a home is really important when you're designing, when you're decorating, all that stuff. Functionality literally also means feng shui. Feng shui, because if you know etymology, all these words that sound the same or sound similar or pronounce similar carry the same energy. Technically, they mean the same thing. No, you cannot do that. Yes, I know, kind of like the opposite, but they still have like that root that is similar. Just like many other words, and like let me get to the point though. Feng shui is function in a home. So feng shui teaches you how to have like fountains in your home to attract more prosperity. There are reasons for that, and that goes into like the elements of the earth. We cannot survive on this earth as humans without fire, water, air, and earth, right? Like we eat from the plants, we eat from the earth. We need warmth, we need water, and we need air to breathe. We need these elements to survive. In your home, if there is out of balance, if the elements are out of balance, you cannot strive or thrive. So, like here, I live in the desert and it's really dry in this environment, barely ever rains. So, I've got the earth, I got all that dirt, I got all the air, it's so windy out here, I got the sunlight. What is the element that I need? I needed a water fountain in the home, which I actually switched to a humidifier. So they tell you in feng shui, a fountain will balance the energy because water and money are tied together. So is fire and stuff like that. But the way you move and make your money is connected to water. So I was missing a lot of water element, moisture. My skin was dry. My voice even kind of cracks sometimes from the dryness. So I have to hydrate myself internally and now externally in my environment because it actually does help my energy flow better. But those are advanced things in Chinese. I'm coming to you with simple solutions on just making your home, your space, your environment more beautiful so you're motivated, so you're more clear, so you actually can live the life you want, like really live it, breathe it in, feel it. And so, yeah, getting organized makes your flow just better. So, you don't need everything to change overnight. Just start here. Start with one space. Start with one dresser. Start with your closet. Start with your desk, anything. And so, I have a lot of really good resources on my website if you guys want to tune into that. It's illuminatedwiz.com. Some of my links are here, which you can find. And I just really talk about holistic health and how your whole life can transform with just like certain internal skills that are spiritual, they're metaphysical, they are non-religious, but they take you to a whole nother level of experience. And I hope that you tune into some of that stuff. And I hope that you like this video. I trust that you will use this information to help you move along. So, bye.